Welcome, everyone, to Awesome Truth, a wrestling book club. I'm your host, Steve Semino, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Walt Schwenk. Hey, Walters.
Hello, Steven. How's it going?
My friend, it is going very well. We are back on Awesome Truth, and today we're doing a watch-along, Walt. We are doing an October watch-along. I lightly, without a lot of passion, pitched some sort of McMahon match. Not a Vince match, of course, but, you know, a Shane match maybe to do a sort of a McMahon-themed month. And you
that's
understandably...
why you're pitching those.
What was that?
You were pitching those. I'm like, dude, King of the Ring is not seasonal.
I was pitching it because I was trying to do a Vince tie-in of sorts.
Oh, Vince had matches.
That?
Vince himself had a ton of matches.
I know, but I don't want to celebrate Vince, though, because Vince is a monster. So that's why I was like, we can do Shane because it's a different McMahon, you know?
Might as well just do a Stephanie McMahon match.
Sure. I mean, it was or a Linda match. Did Linda ever have an actual match?
Unclear.
Okay.
She was comatose in that one match, but I don't know if she was an official participant.
But understandably, you were like, let's actually do an October match. And that's good because I finished Mr. McMahon. I don't think you even finished it, right?
Not yet. It's still on my to-do.
Yeah, and we may never talk about it ever again. And I think it's very fair at this point to put the McMahons in our rear view window semi-permanently. So you were rightly, we were talking about October matches, and we settled on this one, which I think is very interesting. I don't remember. I'm sure I've seen this at some point, but I don't remember watching it at all. Of course, I'm talking about Halloween Havoc 1998 and the main event, which is Goldberg versus Diamond Dallas Page.
Yeah, this is such a weird match. First off,
I forgot it was you had to tell me it was the main event. I did not. I assumed Hogan would have used his power to go on last, and I guess somehow they got it to Goldberg. The champion and biggest draw, as it should have been, was in the final match. But I was certain that Hogan would have weaseled his way in somehow.
Well, he got the last laugh on this one because this is famously the match that the pay-per-view companies cut off because the event went too long. So, you know.
And they just show it again the next night on Nitro. Is that what happened?
They gave it away for free on Nitro as a make good to all the people who bought the pay-per-view. Didn't see like the actual main event and the actual good match.
And they had to sit through probably 20 minutes of Hogan Warrior. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hogan Warrior went 14 minutes, but still, that match should have went 2 minutes. So I mean, 14 is a lot. That was almost the longest match on the card. It was only eclipsed by Bret Hart beating Sting, which was 40 seconds longer. So that's not great.
No. So people were treated to those two Matt classics, but didn't quite get to Goldberg.
But now we got this one, and this is regarded by many as the best Goldberg match ever, right? So this is, that's not, damning with faint praise, but still.
Yeah, well, he didn't kick anyone in the head, at least, so that was
didn't ruin
positive.
DDP's career from this point forward.
Yeah. So yeah, before his WWE run, there might be one or two matches that people remember there. But his matches with Lesnar, but his original WCW run, this has to be the best match, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think the Little Parka match is the best match ever, but that's okay. That's.
Well, I can't argue that either.
All right, well, if you're going to watch along with us, it's on Peacock under Halloween Havoc, and the time code is 2 hours, 57 minutes, and 21 seconds. They're going to open with a shot of the MGM Grand. This is in Vegas, right?
I believe so. The first frame that we're going to direct people to should be of the Vegas Strip.
Yeah, the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Paradise, Nevada. So not like Vegas, but I guess next door to Vegas. So the Vegas area.
Yeah, I'm not a Vegas expert, sadly.
No,
so.
Me neither. But all right, are you ready, Walt?
Let's do it.
All right, hope you're all ready as well, listeners. 3, 2, 1, wrestling. Okay, there it is. There's the MGM Garden Grand Arena, or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, sorry, that's not the Bellagio. My rip-off Daily Motion. I thought it was the Fountains.
No, it's the shitty arena they're at.
Great. Okay.
And Michael Buffer is there, of course. The main event voice of WCW.
What is this guy thinking when he's announcing these fucking matches?
Because at least, when they brought him in, it was often Hogan, which Hogan was a big deal. But now we're getting into like, Goldberg was a big deal too. But yeah, it's not exactly the name brand of a Hogan. It's two other guys in WCW, So we're getting a little bit into the weeds.
I love how he announces who like the state health commissioner or like state
the physician
fight commissioner. I'm just like, this isn't fucking
Is it
boxing.
Nick Patrick or Mickey
like
J's the ref. It's not Randy Anderson or Nick Patrick. I guess Nick Patrick was NWO ref at this point, but
that's true, yeah.
But still, I would have thought Randy Anderson, but yeah, you're right. The whole point of this obviously was to give it the real fight feel, but like you said, it's so not a real fight. Like it's a guy who says bang a lot, and it's a big bald guy, and
how much was this ever in any of the WCW docs, books, etc.? How much this guy got per appearance?
Oh, I don't recall a number, but I'm sure it was $500,000 probably. What do you think? Something like maybe not $500,000 for a night, like something crazy like that, right?
And this guy,
500 is a lot of money. Maybe more like 100. But
I mean, he went to everywhere. He was the announcer for each pay-per-view's main event, so he went to fucking Sturgis.
Yeah.
He went to Tupelo, Mississippi.
He just did the mains, right? No matter what, it was just a main.
Yeah. He'd come in just for the main.
And he talks for literally 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and then he's done for the night.
Yeah. And he probably got a shit ton of money.
And it's not that he doesn't deserve it in the sense that he is great at it and he has a whole thing. Oh, DDP. Oh. We've never done a DDP match. Have we done a Goldberg match? Have we done like a limp chamber or anything that Goldberg was in? We might have. Did we do the one where he breaks the thing? I think we did a Goldberg once upon a time.
I don't think we have.
Really? All right. Well, we definitely didn't do a DDP. I know that. So.
Yeah. God, he was so over back then.
Yeah, look at him. He looks great. He is moving pretty well. I forgot he's pretty agile. I mean, now I'm just so used to him, walking like a sort of a zombie. But he's good. He's in shape. But like he's got that old man in shape, Yeah.
Is he late 30s here or early 40s? Because remember, he wasn't a wrestler for.
He was a very late bloomer, right? He came on super at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My God.
Was he over? Was Bang over? Like, what do you think was over? The whole package? The Diamond Cutter, obviously.
Yeah.
It was WCW does not get a ton of credit for him too. Like I feel like he's treated like this sort of like, I feel like he has the vibe of he got himself over, which is probably true to a certain extent, but like he worked for WCW and they gave him this opportunity. Like it's not like they didn't give him chances, Like they did a pretty good job of making him, a main event guy, which did not seem at all possible at a certain point. So.
And to the best of my recollection, he didn't join any sort of bullshit like NWO ripoffs or spinoff.
And that's a great point because we were just talking before we started recording. This is the hard into the Wolfpack era. One of the matches on this card is Hogan versus Hall versus Nash, and Hall's in the black and white, and Nash is in the Wolfpack. And you're just like, it's all the dumbest shit. Like, they're just getting so in the weeds with this NWO stuff. Well, you said DDP was always his own man, and that's great. That makes him look... And he is one of the most famous non-NWO joins ever, too, which we definitely talked about before. So he was always away from the fray of this dumb stuff.
Even Luger and Sting, who were, like, WCW, like, stalwarts, like, for the longest time throughout this stretch. Like, even they were, like, NWO affiliates, Wolfpack, like, members. It's like, ugh.
Yeah,
all right.
This very card, like we said, there's Bret Hart versus Sting is one of the matches. As you know, that's a dream match for a lot of people. Made much stupider because Sting is in red and black face paint because he's in the Wolfpack.
And isn't Bret in the black and white?
I think so. He's in his normal Bret Hart tights, so I fast forwarded through it. I couldn't tell, but you're probably right given the timing. Which again also is so stupid because like neither of those guys should have been in either one of those factions. And it's very stupid that they are, and it doesn't ruin the match, but it makes it look dumb upon, recollection. It's like, oh, that just it's not needed, it's so unnecessary, but they couldn't help themselves.
Yeah, I mean, God, this is such a lost bygone era.
Things are the seams are starting to show, even though this. There's a lot of interesting matches on this card, and this one we're about to watch is, the setup here for Goldberg is still great. Like, Goldberg is still on top of the world, but you're starting to get a sense of, like, this isn't really as good as it once was, like, something's starting to be missing a little bit.
That was a kind of a nice entrance. So I think we're timed. I just got
Yeah,
to the
Goldberg's just
pyro,
coming out.
but-
Right? He just came out behind the pumpkin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Following him from the dressing room all the way to the like in a oneer.
Yeah.
Like that was. I don't think they did that before.
The
And I
whole
don't
entire
think-
time, you mean? Like just like they usually they did.
In
They
wrestling.
showed the locker room, but then they would cut away, right?
Well, I just mean like no other wrestler got that.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Production.
Oh, the
before,
Goldberg,
and-
yeah. The classic Goldberg intro is fantastic, and it's also
Yeah.
they did a great job of pitting that against DDP, where he's coming through the crowd. Like just the very different vibes of the two guys.
Yeah.
One guy
And
needs
classic.
to be almost protected from himself. The other guy is a man of the people.
Yeah. Man.
Goldberg
This
wants
is
to get $1 million
easily-
bucks here. The presentation is just dynamite. Like, such a Holcomb guy, too. Friend of the show, Chris Holcomb. Just watching Goldberg come out.
Oh my God.
It's like
yeah.
made in a lab to make Holcomb happy.
Nothing reminds me more of Chris Holcomb, friend of the show, Chris Holcomb, than 98 WCW.
An era that he will defend, even if he knows in his heart that it's stupid, he'll still go to bat for all this.
Oh, yeah. We probably should have had him on this watch along.
I know.
He probably had more to say than us.
Does Goldberg look the best of anybody with the big gold belt? He does, right?
Probably. I mean, Flair with the robe and
Sure,
the gold
that's
is
true.
probably pretty iconic too. But
That's
I
the other answer, I think, is those two.
But yeah, I would say Goldberg is like number one with the ball.
Just because he's just got the bald head and just the it just works. It contrasts so well with his huge, like, sort of semi-nude body.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Because he's so no frills, and like
Yeah.
then he has this giant piece of gold
Yep.
around his waist.
And now, like, obviously, a million people said this, but like belts are so overdone these days. It's just so nice
totally.
to have a regular old belt, and that's it.
Oh, man.
Look
And
how big DDP is too. He's like he towers over
Yeah.
Goldberg. It's crazy.
he's not a small guy.
No, he's huge. Goldberg's a big guy too, and DDP's got 3-4 inches on him probably.
Man.
Here we go. The best match in Goldberg's career. Can't wait.
Look, I know DDP won the title, but this is probably one of his biggest matches.
When did he win a title in like the darker ages, right? Like 99?
Yeah, the Arquette ages.
Oh, sure. That's right. So he won.
Well, he won in 90. He actually won early in 99 in like I think it was like a 4-way with like Flair, Hogan, and Mach.
When
Or
did
Piper,
is the next, because this is
Oh,
October,
geez.
is Starrcade with the Nash win?
Yeah.
Okay,
This
so
is like in 2 months.
so in 2 months they ruin out. That's basically when things get like really ruined, right? That's the true beginning. We like to say that the Starrcade with we did Sting and Hogan, that was the beginning of the end. But I feel like the actual beginning of the end is the next Starrcade. Once they
yeah.
neuter
the Finger
Goldberg,
Poke of
it's-
Doom is like
Oh, the finger
2
poke,
months
and the finger
from
poke
now.
Doom is the next night, so it's the two. Those are back-to-back nights.
yeah.
That's insane. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Man.
that's true. That's way worse. I mean, but still, neutering Goldberg is just such a. There was no. Why would they even? Why would Goldberg lose? Like, what was the rush? I know everyone has said this 8 million times. But
Some would say it's because the Booker was the guy who booked himself as champion.
some would say that Goldberg just did a little flippy there too. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow, he's putting on his working boots.
Not practical, really, for the match, but he sure did it.
Yeah. Wow.
So far,
No,
he's doing the submission. Wow.
Yeah. If this is
Working the
wrestling
arm.
later, he would have won his. This is such an inside thing. I'm not even gonna finish that thought.
I don't even know what you're gonna say. So
Just the Dean Malenko Ultimate Warrior I Quit match that went for 100 hypothetical hours in a wrestling
have we
simulator.
mentioned that ever on the show?
Why would we? I regret even bringing it up.
For anyone who, if you know wrestling simulators in the 90s, yeah, I had a I Quit match between a guy who only did submissions and a guy who wouldn't tap, and it went on for 900 hours.
Oh my god!
What a life we had! I can't believe I wasn't dating anybody back then. It's so weird. No interest.
right.
No girls were interested in me. Crazy.
We must have really liked wrestling to do that.
I found eventually I hit a button that just fast forward to the end. But I remember going through. I remember hitting like next page 50 times and then being like, okay, I gotta find a way to end this because this is not gonna end.
Can you tell we were big WCW 98 fans? We're talking about fucking like
It's good.
DOS.
It's a fun. Anyone who knows what
DOS
those things
wrestling
are, though,
simulator.
it's a fun story because it was ridiculous. But
Do we know if anyone else actually ever cared about that?
I'm sure there's so many. I don't know about there's got to be some of our listeners, and I'm sure if you went on Reddit and said like, remember WLS, remember TNM, people would, there's probably 8 million threads on them already of intense nerds from the 90s talking about how fun that was.
Yeah, let's do a Reddit search for that after this.
It's so nerdy too. Like, I love nerdy stuff, but that was like a whole other level, Text-based, like, wrestling adventure game, basically.
Yeah, we're really taking people back in time to what we were doing at this moment.
Kids
while
these
DDP
days have much cooler things to do on phones and computers and the like.
Yeah.
This is good. This is a wrestling match so far. I'll give them that. Like,
what point does the feed cut out though? I can't remember.
I have no idea. Like, I'm sure they won't acknowledge it on this version of it, but I'll probably do some curious research. But they must have been freaking out backstage too. I'm sure they knew it was coming, and I'm sure someone was on the phone with the main ones, being like, "Don't do this," and they're like, "This is how it works." Like, it's you messed up. This is why you don't go long. You get 3 hours hard stop.
Hogan and Warrior needed to chase each other around the ring for 14 minutes, throwing fireballs at each other.
I saw Horace was in the ring. He was probably heavily involved in the ending or something like that. Like, it looked real stupid.
Well, it was the whole infamous botched ending.
I don't know. What was the botched ending?
Oh shit, that was a dangerous looking move. They were supposed to do like the fire in the eyes. Like, Hogan had the flint and he blew it up in his own face by accident, and then they just did like a chair shot and like pin.
Oh, I only kind of remember that. Sounds terrible.
It's all right. It's probably better you don't remember these things.
This was I'm born in October too, so Halloween Havoc was often my pay-per-view that I would get and like have people over and watch. But we were 13 at this point. Like, I think we were mostly we weren't stopping watching wrestling, but I don't think it was like a necessity anymore, or like part of the routine. So.
Oh my God, we're getting into like a pit of Goldberg's like repertoire that I've never seen before.
Yeah, he's like I wonder if the fans, I can't tell, are they enjoying this? Like, it's very much not what they expect from Goldberg matches, Yeah,
I mean, they're usually over by now.
Yeah.
Although it's funny, he kind of just did like 2 variations of the jackhammer.
Yeah.
But
not the jackhammer. It was just like the jackhammer light.
He kind of just flips him over his hip, but it's like in a suplex kind of start.
And now he's doing a different armbar.
Yeah.
It's another type of armbar.
Yeah.
He really, he's basically doing versions of like 5 moves, like slow versions, lower impact versions of the same moves to sort of, not to kill time necessarily, because that's sort of what wrestling is. It's not. I don't want to fault him too much, but it's showing that like his storytelling in the ring and his the quantity of his actions are not that much.
See this DDP?
You're a little bit ahead of me because I just saw the Hurricane Rana.
Or whatever
that was.
Or not the shit. What is that called?
It was,
I paused it for a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, it was like a head scissors, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I mean that's the fact that DDP can do that. That's neat.
Yeah, he could actually wrestle.
This was a face versus face match too, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So I mean, that's good. I mean, I'm glad it's smart that they did. I have to imagine part of the logic for Goldberg losing is, I'm sure this has been said on 8 million podcasts, it's because they sort of ran out of guys, right? They're like, who else is he going to face? Like, he's got no opponents, which is their own fault for not having a roster of people that he could beat, but it's like the fact that they're doing face versus, it's kind of fun. Like, I like that the fact that this was the main event of the pay-per-view. Like, it's just a lot of promotions avoid this sort of thing, but 2 over guys, let's just see what happens and kill a month. They're both draws. Like, let's just do it. What's the harm?
Yeah, they both were super hot right at this point.
Yeah, and look at the rest of the shit on this card. Like, it's not like it's like there's anything else better.
Yeah, right. Didn't mean to stymie the conversation about your birthday month being Halloween Havoc.
No, it's okay. That didn't need to be
It is
expanded
tough.
upon any further. So.
It's either in your house or Halloween Havoc, and typically Halloween Havoc that have something like this worth actually caring about.
Did I get this? Do you remember where you watched this? Because you have a good memory for that.
Well, if he did, I don't remember this ever. Oh shit, that's spear.
Did I? Oh, I didn't even say. You're still ahead of me. Oh, it was a good spear.
Okay, I'm pausing again. Jesus Christ.
So you don't remember watching this live? I don't recall it either. I don't think we did it.
I feel like I borrowed a tape from someone to watch it because I don't remember watching it on Nitro.
I guarantee you, Chris Holcomb saw this pay-per-view, right?
Well, but then if he did, then he didn't watch it then.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. I'm just wondering, like, did any of our friends like purchase it? I don't recall. I really don't. I don't recall going to like Holcomb's house or anything, right?
Yeah, I don't either.
We'll check. We'll update our listeners next show on if we think we watched this live in 1998.
Oh, here we go. I can't remember this spot.
The jackhammer spot?
Wow.
Oh, I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
This
is pretty dramatic.
Yeah. And is the idea that he's hurt from the spear hurt him too?
I think so.
And having a match of the longer than 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh, the fans did not see that coming, but he's too tired. Oh, and the ref did a great. Whoa. Mickey J did a very fun. Like, I can't believe it.
Wow. I mean, the Diamond Cutter was so protected back then.
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big fan of the, like, when used properly, guy does his protective finisher and just can't get up to go for the pin, you know?
Yeah.
It's a great way to keep that going. And like post spear,
1.5.
Yeah, that's pretty bullshit.
Yeah, come on, dude. You gotta make me believe you're gonna lose.
Especially when it's the diamond cutter. Like, I get that you're gonna kick out everything else, but if there's anything you're gonna cut it close.
Oh god, why would you try and suplex him?
He's so big. Of all the moves you can do, yeah. Is this it? It's got to be it, right?
Got to be it.
This is the best Goldberg match. Wow.
It's pretty good Goldberg match.
It was all right. I mean, it was good, but it's also like it's the same shit that everybody hates Hogan for, you know? It's like Hogan, it all just falls into such a formula, you know? And this just fell in the end. It had to end with Goldberg just jackhammering him, and at least he's selling a little bit, you know? That's good. At least he's not. But like you said, the fact that he kicks out of 1.5 is just, of course he does.
This really wasn't a formula, though, because the formula was he wins in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Like, this actually, like, they gave like some level of threat.
You're right. I mean, formula, I guess, just meaning like Goldberg has to look unbeatable.
Right.
Which is good, except for the fact that he loses in 2 months and then it becomes just another guy.
Yeah, because the DDP arguably looks pretty great this loss.
He does. And look, here we go. We're doing some good face stuff there.
Yeah,
Goldberg
they're friends, I think.
Not just being an asshole. That's good. Okay, that breaks like this. I like seeing like this was the natural evolution of the Goldberg character too. They probably should have done is like make him like a normal guy, and like arguably he loses at some point because he's too normal. Maybe he loses the fight a little bit because he's so undefeated, you know, and then maybe wears him down as opposed to like he just loses out of nowhere for no reason.
Right. Which happens.
Yeah, very soon. Well, that's it for Halloween Havoc 98.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a quick one.
It's a quick one. So now that you saw the Goldberg stuff. This is another reason I wanted to do this match. You've seen the Goldberg stuff going on right now as time of this recording, right? That they hinted at a Goldberg sort of Gunther, at least like, you know, heat building exercise. You saw that, right?
Oh, I've seen. Yeah. Well, I know of it. I just haven't actually like seen it.
What would you think if they actually did that? Would that be horrifying to you?
I mean, great. Give Gunther the win over Goldberg. That's cool.
I guess. Like, is the goal to see if like Gunther can pull together a good match out of like 60-year-old Goldberg? Like, what's the end game there?
It's 2 giant hosses going at it. Sometimes there's money in that, you know.
There is. I mean, there's money. It feels like a very crown jewelry type of money too, you know, not like a like a put on a spectacle for the Saudis type thing. Maybe not like a put it on in St. Louis, Missouri for like normal people.
I mean, sure. I mean,
normal people normal people meaning not the whims of a weird bloodthirsty overlord, meaning like
I would say
like a guy who just bought a $50 ticket to watch a pay-per-view.
It's a perfectly fine crown jewel match, Like,
right.
Who else are you going to put instead?
I guess. I mean, Goldberg is so old. And like we said, we just watched his best match, and it was 12 minutes long, and it was fine. And there was like 2 spots that of consequence, and it was, no big deal. I just really am not. Like, it's just, Goldberg just never sits right with me. Like, I just have no real fondness for him, and then all I think about is the last decade in which he's shown up and usually done something stupid or dumb or short-sighted or had a horrible match in almost every time he appears on my TV.
Yeah, it's funny that they are going back to that well, because I feel like that was a thing that like has kind of they've gone away from.
Yeah,
obviously, because
we just talked about the most recent when we talked about Damian Priest. Like, the SummerSlam this year was just a bunch of guys and girls that have been really a lot of self-made people. Like really not a ton of stars of times past, or certainly not exported from decades ago. So
it does feel like a Saudi thing, but like also like I don't even watch those cards. Like I don't watch it either. Fucking Crown Jewel. Like it's not even for me. Like who's that for?
And if Gunther and if they bring Goldberg back and Gunther beats him because he's old and Gunther is young and the champion, that is good. Like that does follow logic. So as long as they apply logic appropriately, I guess it's no harm, no foul. But it does just give you the idea of like, are they going to do something stupid here? Like they've been on a nice little run here. Let's not give in to short-term dumb decision making.
But the Saudi, I mean, sure. It's another notch in his belt if he has another historically long reign. Like, sure, like, great, do it. Like, having Goldberg on a T-shirt of a list of other superstars that he's beaten is a great thing to have, I guess. At some point.
Keywords there, I guess. I think. But
right.
I guess we'll wait and see if they do it. It does seem curious to have it happen and then, go nowhere with it. So I guess we'll have to report back on that one as well. But I would not mind if we never see Goldberg do anything again but smile and wave and, go about his business.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it's going to be quick.
Yeah, that's true. We do know that. The max time it could possibly be is 12 minutes, as we just saw. Like, I don't think Goldberg is possible to do a match longer than that. So,
in the height of his career, the height of his athleticism, in the height of his popularity, the longest match this guy could have is 10 to 12.
Yeah, so
which is shorter than Hogan and Warrior. Yeah, that's
two genuinely old men at that point. So,
right.
Yeah. Well,
great.
We'll see. Fingers crossed on that one. But it was good to harken back to a time when Goldberg was king. And Chris Holcomb, this one's for you. Happy Halloween to you and yours. And, of course, happy Halloween to all of our other listeners who are not Chris Holcomb and hopefully enjoy this as well.
We should probably tell him that we did this ahead of time.
I will
so
say, hey, I like to think he listens, but I don't know for a fact that he does. So this time we'll make sure he listens. And we need him to watch along. So,
right. He could watch along with his favorite era of WCW with us. That's right. It's the whole point of these, right?
Well, if you want to listen to more watch-alongs or any of our old episodes, you can find our archives at awesometruth.libsyn.com. And if you want new episodes or old ones on your favorite podcast app, you can subscribe to us, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are delivered. We are there. Well, happy Halloween to you. Happy Goldberg DDP match, and hopefully we have a treat for the fans in November. So keep your ears peeled. We're still finalizing some stuff and make sure we put it together, but we're gonna try and do something a little different, a little fun, and mix up a little bit as opposed to book documentary and watch along. So we'll keep your, like I said, keep an eye out, but it should be fun.
Yeah, famous last words. And when
that's why I wanted to say it now, because I'm like, if I say it on the show, we have to do it. Then we must move forward.
We are stuck now. Yeah, shit.
Yeah, okay. Our dozens of fans will be horrified if we don't do it.
So we can't just do an impromptu heels episode instead?
Heels coming to Netflix soon, right? So
it's already on.
Is it already on? Wow. And then New Heels coming soon, I presume, which I'm never going to watch.
New Heels, yeah.
We're not watching New Heels.
So in any case, you'll get something different.
Yeah, that's right.
For the next time.
In November, that's right. Thank you all so much for listening. And remember, the truth will set you free.